Hey guys, remember this set? It's a Motorola VK106 I picked up a few months ago. Well, tonight I want to take a closer look at it. I've yet to pull the chassis out, and I'm curious to see what I find for a couple reasons. One, another video camera member, also I think in Illinois, near St. Louis, just got one of these sets. His is in better condition. And I noticed some differences between his and mine when comparing the photos of his chassis to mine. I was curious though, is that the production dates stamped on the back, they're like 2 weeks apart. But there are some control differences. One, his has a fuse over here, and on mine there's a control here that he doesn't have. So I don't know what that's all about. And I also noticed that this is missing. This, I believe, is the focus adjustment, and it's just gone. What I suspect happened is somebody replaced this, which was like a crude variable power resistor, with this control down here. We shall see. The other reason I'm curious is that I might have a chance to get one of these. It's in much, much better condition, like darn near mint. I think the seller said it's been in their family since it was originally purchased. Excellent finish. It's got all the knobs except maybe one. Just one of the inner knobs because all mine are missing. This is just an Admiral knob I stuck on. And it's got the back, which mine does not. You would think, oh, well, that's not that big a deal, but in this case it kind of is because the shield that goes over the flyback is actually attached to the back. So when the back's gone, you lose that cover that goes over this. I suppose it's not critical to the operation, but kind of nice to have. And another issue I know I have with this set is that the speaker's a mess. The field coil, I think, is burned out, and somebody tacked in a permanent magnet speaker down in there. However, I did power this set up and got a raster, so I'm really curious to see what all's been done to it and what kind of condition it's in. And now, I did contact the Craigslist seller who's selling one of these, but they haven't gotten back to me, and it's been like 3 or 4 days, which is kind of annoying. They're not asking a whole lot considering the condition it's in. And although it is a bit of a drive, a good 2 hours each way. So maybe I'll send another note in a day or two. It's still listed, so I presume it's still available, but who knows. Alright, so I'm not sure if the chassis is attached or not. Let's see. Yeah, it's bolted down. Alright, I'll have to climb under there and see what's holding it in. It wasn't too bad to get out. There were just 2 bolts holding it in. One there and one there. Then I had to disconnect the speaker. Speaking of which, I now remember what the situation is with this. The original speaker field coil is probably alright, because it was still wired in, but it's got no cone. Maybe possible to recone it, but I don't know if the voice coil's there or not. So you can see somebody just tacked a new speaker in, a bigger one at that. Alright, so what about the chassis? Well, it's kind of a mess, as I suspected. But, so I did get a raster out of it. What puzzled me at first when I saw this, even while it was still in the cabin, is that it looks like there's a bunch of stuff missing. There's a big hole here and here, empty socket, or a hole right there. But no, that apparently is how they were originally made. So, so this big void here is just the way it's supposed to be. Alright. A couple things I don't like. Well, is I'm missing focus control there. Some more holes where it looks like stuff's missing. Some of the caps have been replaced, like this guy is new. And these covers are missing for the tuner. Obviously there used to be a cover here. You can see the metal's clean and there's some holes there. So I suppose it's no big deal. I could just take some aluminum plate and fabricate a new one. Curious design too. Look at those sunken tubes we got on here. Looks like there's a big lead shield on it. It's probably to suppress microphonics. Another sunken, deep sunken tube there. And this one's partially sticking out. It's all got to be tuner associated stuff. Crazy looking tuner too. Some kind of weird rotary switch with coils and caps sticking out all over. And there's this odd cable coming up from down below, and then it goes back in over here. I wouldn't be surprised if that is an original. Alright, so let's get this thing tipped on its side and take a look underneath. Well, what do you know? It has been recapped. Just some bubble wrap. Got a bunch of Sprague orange drop. Few original paper caps here and there. And some of these, paper caps in ceramic tubes. Another oldie up here. Man, what a mess. And new electrolytics scattered around. Oh boy, I don't know. There's that tuner, which is even crazier looking down below. Boy, I'd hate to try to service one of these. I did dig up a channel knob for this. I'll have to see where it is. I've never actually tried to attach it to see if I can rotate this thing. I can't just with my finger here. Fine tuning moves though. Although, I'm not sure what it's doing. It's probably a variable capacitor attached to it down inside somewhere. It's in here. Huh. And then it's just a big empty space up here. So that control that was added is over here. Yeah, I bet that's a focus control. It's a big wire wound pot. But somebody on the Video Karma, a different forum member, thinks that he might have one. I guess he scrapped out this chassis or a similar one, and he might have saved that control. Man. So, as I was saying, if I can get that other set, I will do so, and maybe use this one for spare parts or something. Because this is in kind of a sorry state, which is what I suspected. Well, if the other set's completely intact and I don't need to take any parts out of this one to get it running, I don't know. Maybe I'll just give this set away. I got it basically for free. It's a matter of finding somebody who actually wants it. Huh. Same type of coil that we saw on the Motorola VT71. It's a blocking oscillator, transformer. Flyback, vertical output transformer, I'm guessing. That was the power transformer. Now, if I do end up trying to restore this, I do have the SAMs and the Riders service info. They're generally pretty detailed, including photos of the original chassis undersides. So I think what I would end up having to do is just meticulously go through it from A to Z. Because when I see sets like this, I don't trust anybody's work. Caps parallel here, there's stuff just hanging around, who knows. Some modifications I can see have already been done to it, so I'd want to try to put it all back to stock. Which power resistors here, probably to replace this burned out can dome down here. It's weird, a new capacitor that was installed. It looks like none of those lugs are actually going to anything. So maybe the replacement cap went bad, and it was replaced with these caps we see scattered around here. And it's, I don't see a single wire going to it, I don't think. Yet, I actually did turn it on and the thing fired up, so I guess somebody at least had some idea what they were doing. Well, I can't find the channel knob that I found for this set. I'm sure I put it somewhere safe, I just don't remember where I put it. So I dug up one that's also a Motorola knob, but not for this set, but it happens to fit anyway, so who cares. And what do you know? It rotates just fine. Very smooth action, actually. Yeah, well, for now, I'm just going to pop this chassis back inside the cabinet. I took a bunch of reference photos. And I'll keep my fingers crossed that I hear back about the one on Craigslist. I finally heard back from the seller on Craigslist, and it turns out the set had actually sold a while ago, and she had been on vacation and neglected to delete the listing. So either I hold out until I find another VK106, or at least a chassis, or I try to restore this one. I'll ponder that, and we'll see how it goes.